Swayed by Frederica's words, the Roselle of the Source rise up to take their freedom from the clutches of their captors. Not long after, Byzantine forces encircle them, preventing their escape. But not all is lost. Jerome and the Rosellan villagers arrive just in time, throwing their foe into disarray and affording Frederica and the others a window to escape the capital. With the long-suffering sinners freed from their shackles, and the holy symbol of their faith destroyed, the people of Hyzant are left shaken to their very core. Frederica and the others take advantage of the ensuing chaos to reunite with their allies. Meanwhile, Benedict succeeds in driving Exham Marshal from the Wolfort domain, securing the safety of his home, hopefully for the final time. While at the borders of Esfrost, Roland succeeds in procuring the Death Knell, whose great blast will sound the end of Hyzant's reign over Norzelia. Together with Frederica, they take their first step into their new future. On the barren wasteland surrounding Hyzant, they gather, the goddess's shield towering before them, as Serenoa's plan reaches its climax.
Our soldiers' morale will plummet if you keep looking so surly. I hear even training couldn't stop your thoughts from wandering elsewhere.
My apologies. My mind is filled with nothing but worry over Princess Cordelia.
All the brooding in the world won't make her recover faster. But tell me, what cause have you to be so concerned for Her Majesty?
She and I are not so different.
What do you mean?
After I was orphaned in the war, Lord Svarog took me in. I clawed my way up the hierarchy and rose to my current position. There were times when life looked so bleak, I thought I would die. But every time I reached my limits, I pushed right through them. Then this war broke out. And as things happened, I came to meet Her Majesty. Seeing her unwavering strength in the face of losing her family, her kingdom, I couldn't help but be reminded of who I once was.
I refuse to stand idly by as a mere decoration. So if it meant earning your trust, I was willing to show you that I wish to protect Glenbrook by any means necessary.
You took a gamble.
I had to. For it is not status or reward that moves you.
So you bet on my honor, and refusal would sully my name forever. However, safeguarding the kingdom comes first. Fighting at your side will have to wait.
General Avlora!
A word of advice, Your Majesty. Both Hyzant and the Archduke are veterans of war. The fight will not be an easy one, and may rage on for many years.
Even so, I will not falter. I must do this. For my father and brothers.
An admirable resolve. One which I will see fulfilled. I shall be your sword and shield, my queen.
Thank you, General Avlora.
I am not made to rule, but Princess Cordelia is. Staring my death in the face, the only thought I had was that I must return to her side, that I had to survive for her sake. That single-minded determination is the only reason I made it here.
Be that as it may, you tried to destroy Glenbrook. I can never forgive you for that. I don't care if Lord Serenoa pardoned you. You killed my friends, my companions.
We were at war, and you were the enemy. It is simply the way of things.
Is that what you tell yourself?
Then what would you have me do?
You're the Frosty General. What are you doing here? No! Don't kill me!
Ugh.
See? The people are the same. They feel nothing but hate and terror when they look at you.
I do not expect forgiveness for what I've done, but I would do what I can to atone.
If you're serious about helping Princess Cordelia change things for the better, then don't look to me for answers. Look to that child, to the people.
Ask the people, you say?
Ah, that's the good stuff. Ain't no one can pour a pint like you.
I take coin for drink, not compliments. It's hard enough to keep this place running on my own as it is.
Need me to lend a hand?
Thought you'd never ask. You can start by washing the dishes, then restocking our foodstuffs, fixing up that wobbly table, and...
Aye, leave it to me.
Ha! I'm only playing. I'd never put a paying customer to labor.
But that's an awful lot of work for any one person. Ever give thought to finding someone with whom you might share the burden?
You can stop right there. The last thing I need is anyone else complicating my life.
Sounds like you're speaking from experience.
I had myself a someone once, you know? Special-like. Till he left me for a specialer someone. Raised my son Theo all by myself after that. He'd be a man grown now, if the war hadn't taken him.
Forgive me, Hossabora. Didn't mean to go drudging up painful memories.
No need for apologies. I don't know anyone who doesn't have a thing or two in their past that haunts them. In truth, I'm more exhausted than anything. Must be the years taking their toll.
Ain't got nothing to do with age, and everything to do with the hardships you've overcome. More impressive than an old soldier drowning his sorrows in mead.
What kind of barkeep am I, letting my poor patron wallow?
Sometimes wallowing's good for the soul. Come on, have a round with me. My treat.
Took you long enough to make the offer. Now, what shall we toast to?
How about to your son?
I, to Theo.
Hail and well met, my good fellow. Lionel greets you most heartily.
Ah, Clara spoke of you. Lionel, you say?
The very same, and in a position of privilege for which he is most grateful. A privilege that he would be most happy to share with the consortium, that it might prove to our mutual benefit.
Oh, a fellow man with an eye for profit, I see. What privilege have you brought me today?
A worldly fellow such as yourself has doubtless heard rumors of Hyzant's clandestine research projects, yes?
Indeed I have. Developing weapons of devastating power, unlocking the secrets of eternal life.
What if Lionel were to tell you that Hyzant has in fact created an elixir that offers everlasting youth?
I would be intrigued, and then I'd ask you how you could possibly know such a thing.
It's a simple matter of logic. Think. Why would Hyzant hide the existence of so wondrous a panacea?
I suppose they'd want to keep such power to them and theirs.
Just so. The only thing kings and nobles covet more than salt is life itself. My lord is no exception.
What are you saying? That those you serve have procured this miracle drug?
Lionel has found himself welcome within nobility's most inner circles, he is proud to say, and privy to their secret conversations. He also finds himself in possession of a certain medicine, a medicine he would be happy to part with a share of, for the right price.
A price I'd be more than willing to pay for such an incredible elixir. Do tell me, what exactly does it do?
What doesn't it do? Its imbiber is blessed with unyielding vigor, unflagging stamina, and unmitigated vitality. Demand has proven so overwhelming that Lionel cannot hope to deliver the goods all on his own. He would be willing to share his profits with the right partner, however.
If you've won the noble's trust, then I see no reason to hesitate in helping you take some of their coin. Very well. Let me see the goods.
That makes 10, who put their lust for coin before their capacity for reason. This is almost too easy. With a few rumors and a respected name at his disposal, Lionel could sell these gullible fools their own shoes. They're welcome to help themselves to this purgative. And if one or two of them is remarkably long-lived, then all the better for Lionel.
And are you content to make your fortune on the backs of fools?
Yeah, you? How long have you been there?
Since the morning, on Benedict's orders.
Your overseer is too kind. However, you may return and inform him that Lionel needs no protection. His work to bring fortune to House Wolfort requires the utmost concentration, and the presence of others can prove an unnecessary distraction.
Might I sit here for a bit?
If you don't mind the company of this old maid, you're more than welcome. Well now, shall we have ourselves a little chat to pass the time?
By all means. I would like nothing more than to hear of your exploits in the Salt Iron War. I have read much of your surpassing prowess on the battlefield, but
Would be honored to learn more in your own words.
Oh, child. That was so many, many years ago. How many enemies did I fell on the battlefield? I long since lost count. They say my very name was feared throughout the land. You and others may call them exploits. The truth is, I was nothing more than a skilled dealer of death.
You sound as if you regret it.
Against fellow soldiers and warriors like myself? No, that is simply the way of war. But my acts also brought suffering to those who did not deserve it. The Roselle, for example.
The Roselle? How so?
I was leading a siege on the Citadel of the Sands in Hyzant, not far from the source. The Hyzantian commander was a worthy foe. The battle drew on, and we were losing men and resources with little to show for it. Seeking to end the battle quickly, I chose to raise the fort with wildfire, and so it fell. All too late did I learn that its jails were filled with Roselle, captured slaves who had fled servitude at the lake.
But you did not know they were there. You can hardly blame yourself for their fate.
Do you think the Roselle who roasted to death would say the same? What of their families?
You cannot forgive yourself for this, even so many years later.
And why should I? Because my countrymen sing of me as a hero? To this day, visions of charred bodies lying in the rubble haunt me. Lumps of burnt flesh that were once men and women who wished only for their freedom. At first, I tried to forget, but the weight of my sins was too heavy to bear, and so I abandoned everything and left my home behind. Fortunately, I had already trained a protege to follow in my place.
And ever since then, you've wandered the realm alone?
Yes. But no matter how far I traveled, I could not escape my regrets. And now, Norzelia finds itself embroiled in another bloody struggle. The horrors of the past come anew. If fighting is all I am good for, then the least I can do is fight for peace. It may not atone for the death and suffering I have wrought, but at least it may save others from the same fate.
I'm sorry. It was not my intention to make you relive such painful memories.
Worry not, lass. Truth be told, it's something I'd been hoping to get off my chest for a while now. But this old maid's rambled on long enough, I reckon. Thank you for the company, child.
Master Archibald, is there something on your mind?
Goddess be good. I must be getting on in years for you to be able to sneak up on me like that.
What troubles you?
I was only reminiscing. Indie days like these tend to blow my mind back a couple of decades or more.
Reminiscing about what?
The Salt Iron War. Hard to believe it's been 30 whole years. Some days I almost forget my time as one of the Saintly Seven. I defended the Citadel of Sand through the conflict. I was there when Esfrost attacked. A number of Rosellan prisoners who tried to escape the source were there too, including Our Lady Frederica's dear mother.
What's this?
She stayed behind all by herself to help the countless numbers of her fellow Roselle flee. That's how she was captured. But I knew we couldn't hold the Citadel. So I helped her and her friends escape in secret before the enemy attacked. The wind blew just as hard that night as it's blowing now. I'll never forget watching the Roselle, caked all over in mud as they slipped away into the dark.
So you didn't want innocents to get caught up in the coming battle?
It never settled right with me. The way the goddess's teachings permitted abuse of the Roselle for the supposed sins of their past. A person's life isn't worth more or less just because of the conditions of their birth. But more than anything, I was moved by the selfless acts of Lady Frederica's mother. She reminded me of what I had once aspired to be. She was able to do what I never could. Risk her life to save her friends. I couldn't let someone like that die. Not on my watch. It wasn't long until the other Saintly Seven discovered what I'd done. They branded me a traitor, stripped me of my title, and sentenced me to death. Of course, I slipped out of their clutches before they could have my head. I wandered for a while before taking up life as a merchant under the King of Glenbrook's patronage.
I never knew you and Lady Frederica's mother shared such a past.
Well, it is in the past. Anyway, let us return. This cold night wind is making my old bones ache something fierce.
Thank you for joining me in my training, Sir Flanagan. I've learned much from you. In truth, I'm grateful for any training at all. There are few of us Hawk Riders in Glenbrook.
Then let me thank you in turn for a chance to shake the rust from my bones. Seems my mount was keen to face such a worthy opponent as well.
'Twould seem they are hawks of a feather. Speaking of which, Sir Flanagan, I understand your regiment of riders was the Duchy's finest. Yet you chose to leave your homeland behind. Why?
I grew to see how powerless I was. I once believed the freedom Gustadolf espoused would bring prosperity to Esfrost. So I fought, and fought, and fought for the cause until my shield was stained blood red.
Hence your title, yes. To think how many lives you must have saved.
Do not mock me. I saved no one. Pride swelled my breast with every mention of that cursed title. But in a year's time, what did I return home to find? My poor wife, wasting away in solitude in the throes of an accursed plague.
Your wife? Had word not reached you?
She mentioned in letters that she felt unwell, but never did I expect it to be so grave. In a matter of days, she was gone. Every moment I spent protecting the people, she drew one step closer to death. And I left her to die. Her blood, too, stains my shield.
Sir Flanagan,
Forgive me. I did not mean to burden you with my woes. But you see now, my title is a curse.
It is a tragedy, yes. But I cannot bring myself to believe you cursed. And you mustn't believe so either. I thought I told you not to sneak up behind me like that.
It's been some time since a bird came from Hyzand, hasn't it?
So you were spying on me. Did Wolfort order this?
No. Lord Serenoa is not the type to have his people surveilled. But as his retainer, I would be remiss not to keep an eye out for those who might intend him harm.
I suppose there's no fooling you. Yes, I am Hyzand's spy. Do what you will with me. I fear neither torture nor execution.
We would gain nothing by doing either. A plant may be poisonous or medicinal after all. Depending on how we use you, you could still serve House Wolfort.
I am a human being. Do not liken me to a mere object.
Even tools have feelings. You said it yourself, no?
So you did hear me.
You should understand this by now, Milo. Lord Serenoa would never use you, or any of us, as mere tools.
Indeed, he is too trusting. He would be easy to poison, had I a mind to do so.
Grant peaceful sleep to the wounded beast. What is the meaning of this?
Should House Wolfort rise in opposition to Hyzand, Serenoa is to be killed. It's a coded message. I only just received it. My master sees me as nothing but a tool. Now that my identity has been found out, my life is as good as forfeit. My master disposes of tools once they are no longer useful to him, you see. But he cannot dispose of me if I dispose of him first.
Then you will aid us.
No, I will use you. I may be a tool, but I have my pride. I came here seeking power that I might protect myself. To avoid being disposed of, I needed to align myself with a strong house.
You're a tough one, aren't you?
As tough as a weed, and poisonous too.
This place is in shambles. It will not be easy passing through here each time.
Neither is it easy for me to look upon the face of the woman who killed my friends.
Come on! We've got treasure to hunt! Ow! Someone help me!
Rope! 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 What's all this? Look! Damn! It's no good! I can't lift it! We have to hurry, or she'll be crushed!
Ah!
Out of the way! I'll handle this. Are you all right?
Thanks for saving me. Wait, you're...
You're the one who killed Prince Franny. What? You serve House Wolfort now? You make me sick! You ruined our lives! You took everything from us!
Get out of my sight before I make you regret the day you were born!
Yeah, we don't want you here!
I know I was the enemy of Glenbrook. I know no words will undo the horrors I've done here. And so, all I can offer is my actions.
Avlora.
I don't want to hear it! I don't care how sorry you are, or how much you grovel! It won't bring back the people you killed! No! Stay back!
Leave her alone! I'm sorry I ran away before, but, here, for saving me.
It's beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We aren't like you. We don't want blood for blood.
Nor do I. Not anymore. And so I would spend my life atoning. And fighting to build a peaceful future for children like her.
You want them to have a future? You can start by helping to end this bloody war.
It would seem that people have spoken. Nothing you do will erase the horrors you've committed in the past. But seeing you today, I do believe you mean better for the future.
I do. This I swear on the name of Princess Cordelia and the royal family of Glenbrook. I vow that I shall protect this kingdom's people with my life.
You there! This is no place for strangers. Be gone from here.
So the rumors were true. There are Roselle here.
From Hyzant, are you? I'll be damned if I go back to your stinking salt pit. It's been 30 years. We want only to live in peace.
30 years? Were you at the Citadel of the Sands during the war, perchance?
I was. How did you know? I was but a child at the time. We had fled from servitude, but the army quickly tracked us down. We were forced to.
So some did survive. Please, forgive me.
What got into you all of a sudden?
Long ago, I served as General of Esfrost. It was I who razed the Citadel to the ground and burned your countrymen alive. Words of apology will not even begin to atone for my deeds. Yet I give them anyway. I am sorry.
Knowing the danger, you came all the way out here to say that?
I had to know if any of you lived.
Raise your head. It is true that I lost my father when we fled servitude at the source. My people still bear the wounds from that war. Wounds that may never heal. But not one of us perished in the flames that day.
What did you say?
It is true that we were being kept prisoner in the Citadel jails that day. But we were set free before the fire spread. To this day, I can scarce believe it. But the commander himself personally gave the order, and worked together with our leader to see that we were ushered to safety.
A general of Hyzant freed you? But why?
To this day, I still remember his words. A person's life isn't worth more or less just because of the conditions of their birth. Who is to say what was in his heart? All I know is that it is by his mercy that we are alive today. Many of my people live together in villages. Others, like my family and I, have chosen to live on our own.
None of you died at the Citadel that day. That can't be possible.
But it is, and I'm living proof.
I dared not dream. Oh, thank heavens.
There's no need for tears.
To think there was such a compassionate soul in Hyzant's ranks. If this man still lives, I would express my gratitude to him in person.
As would I. Sadly, I do not even remember his name.
At any rate, I feel as if a great burden has been lifted. And yet my true battle has only begun. And I will not rest until this world is one where people need no longer suffer the horrors of war.
A bit idealistic, no? I reckon that only bloodier days are ahead.
I know this better than anyone, boy. And yet I mustn't give up hope. At long last, my conscience is clear, and I fight with newfound purpose for the hope of a brighter future.
This place was host to a battle not long ago, wasn't it?
We have come here to help. Let us offer what relief we can.
I never imagined the war would spiral this out of hand. Before the fighting started, all I cared about was becoming the realm's greatest blacksmith. I dreamed of forging the perfect weapon, a testament to strength. But what is strength, truly? Of late, I have pondered much on that question.
And have you arrived at an answer?
Well...
There they are! Thanks for the sweets you gave us. Hey, let's play a game!
Very well. What shall we play? Apologies, Iens. You may return. You needn't wait for me.
Come on! Over here!
I believe I may have found my answer, Lord Serenoa. Courage, kindness, warmth that kindles a smile upon a child's face. The fortitude to keep fighting, no matter what trials you may face. Through it all, your heart remains unbent and unbroken. That is what will end this war. You, my lord, and the unmatched weapons you carry within you.
Hey, you should play with us too!
If you insist, here I come!
Who in their right mind sends an old man on a scouting mission? Oh, goddess take me. I can't wait to retire. Of course, I can't very well do so until the war is over.
What will you do once it is?
I can't say I have any plans in particular. But there is one regret I'd like to remedy. I'd like to find my first love. I still dream of her, even all these years later.
Huh.
She was the general of the Frosty forces during the siege of the Citadel of the Sands. The turning point of the Salt Iron War, that was. I never learned her name. We were enemies, yes, but it was clear from the battle we waged how much we admired one another. She caught a beautiful figure on the battlefield. Her every movement was majestic. More than anything, she was a fearsome warrior. Truly, there is none in the world like her. I wonder what might have been had we met in a tavern instead of as enemies.
I see. I hope you can find her then.
As do I. As do I.
Well, looky here. Easy mark.
Let's get them before they wise up.
There.
He saw us? Well, we're too far away. Inhumanly possible. Monster!
How did you sense those bandits from such a distance?
Rats like that will never get the better of me. Till this war is over, I've only begun to fight.
I can see you mean that.
Ah, that's it. I know what I'm going to do when we're done fighting. I'll travel the land till I find the Frosty general who caught my eye. It's strange, but I sense her presence wherever I go. Might be she's closer than I think. If that's the case, I'd better do what I can to end this war, and fast. Time to work twice as hard for an early retirement.
Thank you for journeying all this way to assist us, Medina. I fear the healers in this region are otherwise occupied today. You have my apologies.
No need to apologize. You may call on me whenever you're in need.
I have 2 wounded here. One of our own, and an Frosty.
The cause of all our strife in the flesh. Treating the enemy first? Have you lost your mind?
His wound is far more grievous. We must tend to him or he will die.
What fealty have we to those who robbed us of our king? Who would drive us to ruin?
We may have no fealty to his nation, but we have a duty to him, as a man whose life depends on us. Leave your talk of allies and enemies on the battlefield. It has no purchase in a place of medicine. So long as I practice the healing arts, it is my duty to save them both. They should be able to get some rest now.
That was incredible, Medina. I am sorry for what I said earlier. I was not myself.
All is forgiven. At one time, I would not have challenged you.
Would that I had your courage.
You can. Simply keep your desire to help those in need first and foremost in your mind. The rest is sure to follow.
I see you have not neglected your training, Hewitt. I must take a moment to catch my breath.
You are winded. Good. I often worry that my skill is lacking. I wonder what Roland would think to see us practicing together. He expects much from me. I only hope not to disappoint him.
He has become a fine warrior in his own right, has he not?
Indeed he has. He would have been a worthy successor to King Regna, if only his birth would have allowed it.
Doubtless the king would have considered Roland too pure of heart to wear the crown.
And is that not a kingly virtue? Or do all rulers require some measure of ruthlessness to keep their people in order?
You are closer to the truth than you know. Prince Franny had evidence that his father was turning a blind eye to the illicit dealings of his subjects.
What? What dealings?
House Tellior was peddling watered-down wine and fattening their coffers with the profit. King Regna found out about their scheme, but the timing was unfortunate. It had been an arduous year. The king was loath to risk the loss of taxes, so he let it pass.
I see. And Prince Franny knew of this?
Yes, and he was goaded into coercing his own father by Minister Patriat. Perhaps what Prince Franny feared the most was that the king would pass him over and cede the throne to Roland. So he threatened to inform House Falks of King Regna's indiscretion if the king did not guarantee his succession.
That's... I never knew.
Over time, Prince Franny came to realize how he had been manipulated by Minister Patriat. He hated himself for the actions he could not take back, and he envied Roland for his blissful ignorance to it all.
Do you think Franny believed Roland to be a better fit for the throne than himself?
In his heart of hearts, I do. I have no doubt King Regna did too, when the weight of the schemes and intrigue that plagued his nation weighed most heavily on his shoulders. Perhaps Regna hoped that Roland could succeed where he had failed, and navigate through the deception without compromising his ideals.
So that is how it was. I see now why Roland looked up to you like a father.
The rot that spread through Glenbrook was not unique. Wheresoever men fight for power and influence, it spreads. But we need not submit to it. If ever there were a group of people that could set this kingdom to rights, it is here. We can rebuild Glenbrook to be more glorious and true than it has ever been.
I agree, Sir Maxwell.
When the war is over, it will not be strength of arms that will carry us through to the future, but the strength of our words and convictions. My brush with death has allowed me to see this clearly. A path forged by spears and swords will only end in a river of blood. I only pray that peace comes before we are consumed by it. And when it does, may we have the courage to set down our weapons and begin our true fight, to see that we never need pick them up again. Will you stand by my side when the time comes? Shall we build this new world together?
Yes, we shall.